She was just changing bedsheets until she discovered the hidden cameras and realized what this hotel room was really used for. The cameras were small, professional grade, tucked behind picture frames and air vents. Sarah Chen found the first one at 11:47 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, while cleaning Suite 2847 at Chicago's Palmer House Hotel. 20 years of military police training had taught her to notice things that didn't belong. What she found next would save 23 lives. At 62, Sarah Chen was invisible. Another hotel housekeeper in navy blue polyester, pushing her cart through endless marble hallways. Guests barely glanced at her weathered face or graying hair pulled back in regulation clips. They moved aside when she knocked, muttered housekeeping through heavy doors, then forgot she existed the moment their rooms were clean, which was exactly how Sarah preferred it. Invisible people see everything. Welcome to Unseen Heroes, where ordinary jobs hide extraordinary people. Before we share Sarah's story of hidden predators and forgotten warriors, tell us where you're watching from in the comments. And if you've ever wondered about the people who clean your hotel rooms, hit subscribe. You never know who's been watching over you. Sarah hadn't planned on housekeeping when she left the Army in 2018. 20 years as military police, rising from private to staff sergeant, investigating everything from equipment theft to sexual assault cases across 3 deployments. She was good at reading crime scenes, better at reading people, best at knowing when something was wrong. But civilian police work felt different after Iraq and Afghanistan. Too much politics, not enough justice. When budget cuts hit the Chicago PD, Sarah took early retirement rather than fight a system that seemed more interested in covering problems than solving them. The Palmer House job came through a veterans placement program. Housekeeping supervisor, decent benefits, steady hours. Most importantly, nobody expected her to carry a weapon or write reports. Just clean rooms, manage schedules, and stay invisible. Sarah thought she'd left investigations behind forever. She was wrong. That Tuesday started like any other. Sarah arrived at 5:30 a.m., reviewed the checkout manifest, assigned rooms to her team of 12 housekeepers. Suite 2847 caught her attention immediately. Penthouse level, registered to Michael Thompson, but something about the name felt rehearsed, artificial. How long has he been here? Sarah asked Maria, the front desk supervisor. They'd both worked the morning shift for 3 years. 6 days straight. Weird guest, though. Never lets housekeeping in during his stay. Always extends with cash. Tips really well to be left completely alone. Front desk manager loves him. Drops $2,000 every time he extends. Sarah made a mental note. In 20 years of MP work, she learned that people who paid premium prices for privacy usually had expensive secrets. The call came at 11:30 a.m. Thompson had checked out suddenly. No forwarding address. Left the suite keys at the desk without stopping to chat. Standard hotel procedure required immediate turnaround cleaning for the next guest arriving at 6 p.m. Sarah decided to handle Suite 2847 personally. The elevator to the penthouse level required special key card access. Sarah had cleaned these suites before. 1,500 square feet of marble floors. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Lake Michigan, furniture that cost more than most people's cars. This was where celebrities stayed, where foreign diplomats conducted quiet business, where Chicago's elite brought their secrets. Sarah knocked twice, called housekeeping, then used her master key. The suite was pristine. Too pristine. In 20 years of cleaning hotel rooms, Sarah had developed an eye for how people really lived in temporary spaces. Guests left traces, coffee rings on mahogany tables, towels dropped carelessly, sheets twisted from restless sleep, personal items scattered across surfaces. Human occupancy created a specific kind of controlled chaos. Suite 2847 looked like a furniture showroom. Sarah started with standard procedure, stripping beds, gathering towels, checking bathroom supplies. But her MP training was already cataloging inconsistencies. The king-size bed had been slept in, but the sheets were too neatly disturbed, folded back with military precision. The bathroom showed signs of use, but towels were refolded exactly as housekeeping would arrange them. Someone with training had staged this room. That's when she found the first camera. It was tucked behind a frame of a landscape painting, lens no bigger than a shirt button, nearly invisible unless you knew where to look. Sarah did know. The army had trained her to sweep rooms for surveillance equipment during her deployment to Baghdad's Green Zone. She photographed the camera with her personal phone, careful not to disturb its position. Then she began searching systematically, the way Staff Sergeant Chen had been taught to process crime scenes. Camera 2, behind the air conditioning vent, pointed at the bed. Camera 3, inside a decorative vase, capturing the sitting area. Camera 4, bathroom, hidden in the mirror frame. Camera 5, bedroom ceiling, disguised as a smoke detector. Sarah's hands were steady as she documented each discovery, but her mind was racing. Professional surveillance equipment in a luxury hotel suite meant one of three things: corporate espionage, blackmail, or something worse. The bedroom and bathroom angles suggested the worst option. She opened her investigation toolkit. Not official equipment anymore, just habits that 20 years of MP work had made automatic. Check the obvious hiding places first, then the clever ones, then the places only professionals would think to use. Behind a marble vanity in the master bathroom, a fireproof safe, partially open in the occupant's hurry to leave. Inside, external hard drives, cash bundled with rubber bands, and a collection of passports that made Sarah's blood go cold. 12 passports, all young women, ages 15 to 23. Different nationalities: Romanian, Ukrainian, Thai, Mexican. But their photos showed the same expression: fear. Under the custom mattress, more cash, maybe 30,000 in hundreds, and 3 burner phones still warm from recent use. In the walk-in closet behind designer suits that probably cost more than Sarah's annual salary. Plastic storage containers filled with small cameras, recording equipment, and what looked like restraints. Professional grade, the kind used for interrogation. Or worse, Sarah Chen was no longer a housekeeper in that moment. She was Staff Sergeant Chen, MP, staring at evidence of what was clearly a human trafficking operation. And unlike the Chicago PD, she knew exactly what to do next. First, preserve the crime scene. Sarah used housekeeping tape to seal the suite entrance, placed an out-of-order sign, and locked the door with her master key. No one would disturb the evidence until federal authorities arrived. Second, document everything. Sarah photographed each piece of evidence from multiple angles, time-stamped and location-tagged. Her personal phone became an evidence camera, trained hands automatically following procedures she'd learned in Baghdad and Kandahar. Third, secure backup. Hotel security needed immediate notification, but Sarah chose her contact carefully. Marcus Williams, head of security, was former Detroit PD detective. He'd understand both the seriousness and the discretion required. Marcus, it's Sarah. I need you at Suite 2847 immediately. Come alone, bring your evidence kit, and prepare to call federal authorities. Sarah, what did you find up there? Something that's going to make national news. Marcus arrived in 8 minutes, took one look at Sarah's preliminary documentation, and whistled low. Jesus Christ, Sarah, how do you know to look for this stuff? Same way you knew to believe me when I called. Experience. They spent the next hour carefully cataloging evidence while Marcus contacted the FBI's Chicago field office. Agent Rebecca Torres, who specialized in human trafficking cases, arrived with a full forensics team by 2 p.m. Agent Torres immediately recognized Sarah's military bearing and professional evidence handling. You were law enforcement? Military police, 20 years. 3 deployments, specializing in criminal investigations. Shows. This is textbook crime scene preservation. You've probably saved dozens of lives today, but we need to move fast. Trafficking operations don't stay static. If Thompson spooked and ran, he's either burning evidence or moving victims. Sarah wasn't finished. 20 years of MP work had taught her that predators don't operate in isolation, and they don't use single locations. If Thompson was running victims through the Palmer house, he had other hotels, other rooms, other girls who were running out of time. I need to tell you what I observed during his 6-day stay, Sarah told Agent Torres. Details that only someone invisible would notice. For the next 2 hours, Sarah reconstructed Thompson's patterns from memory. His visitor schedule, always after 10 p.m., always using the service elevator that bypassed the main lobby. The women who came and went, young, scared, never staying long enough to get comfortable. The way he paid for everything in cash, always tipped housekeeping generously to be left completely alone. He had different women every night, Sarah explained. Ages 16 to maybe 22, all clearly terrified. They came up the service elevator, stayed 2 to 3 hours maximum, then left the same way. Never saw them in daylight. Never saw them talking to each other. How many different women? Torres asked. 11 over 6 nights. Some came back twice, but most were one-time visits. The Romanian girl, she was there 3 times. Looked youngest, maybe 15. Always had fresh bruises. Sarah's observations helped the FBI map Thompson's network in real time. The burner phones contained contact information for trafficking coordinators across the Midwest, a sophisticated operation moving girls between premium hotels in 8 states. This isn't random, Torres explained to Sarah while forensics processed the suite. This is organized crime, probably connected to international trafficking cartels. Thompson, and that's not his real name, is middle management in something much bigger. The hard drives contain video evidence of assaults against dozens of victims, recorded over the past 2 years in hotel rooms across Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee, and Cleveland. Each video was tagged with location, date, and what appeared to be client identification numbers. Within 48 hours, the FBI had coordinated with local authorities for simultaneous raids across the Midwest. Thompson, whose real name was Victor Petrov, a Romanian national with connections to Eastern European trafficking cartels, was arrested at O'Hare International Airport attempting to board a flight to Bucharest. The raids recovered 23 victims, ages 14 to 24. Most were foreign nationals who'd been trafficked specifically for prostitution, held in conditions that qualified as modern slavery. The youngest was a 16-year-old Romanian girl named Anka, the same girl Sarah had seen visiting Thompson's suite repeatedly. 2 weeks later, Agent Torres called Sarah personally. All 23 victims are receiving full services, medical care, psychological counseling, immigration assistance where needed. Anka is being reunited with her family in Romania. Her parents had reported her missing 8 months ago. What about the clients? Sarah asked. Hard drives contain videos of 47 different men over 2 years. We've made 18 arrests so far, including a sitting judge, 2 corporate executives, and a city councilman. More arrests coming. Sarah returned to work the following Monday. Same navy blue uniform, same housekeeping card, same invisible presence in marble hallways. But the Palmer House staff looked at her differently now. Word had spread quickly about what she'd uncovered. The general manager, Richard Hoffman, called her to his office that afternoon. Sarah, I want to offer you a promotion to director of security. 50% salary increase, your own office, official authority to investigate suspicious guests. Sarah considered the offer for exactly 3 seconds. Thank you, but no. I prefer housekeeping. But why? After what you accomplished, you could work anywhere in hotel security, probably law enforcement again if you wanted. Because housekeepers are invisible, Sarah explained. Invisible people see things others miss. Security personnel are obvious. Guests change behavior when they know they're being watched. But housekeepers? We're furniture. People forget we exist, which means they act naturally around us. Hoffman nodded slowly. You want to keep watching? Someone needs to. This wasn't Thompson's first hotel, and it won't be the last trafficking operation to use luxury accommodations. These predators count on everyone looking the other way, assuming someone else is handling security. Sarah negotiated one small change: access to guest registration data for extended stay customers paying in cash. Not official investigative authority, just professional curiosity from an experienced housekeeper who wanted to provide better service. 3 months later, Sarah identified another suspicious guest, David Martinez, who'd been occupying Suite 1847 for 8 days, never allowing housekeeping access, receiving multiple young female visitors via service elevator. When FBI raided that operation, they recovered 6 victims and arrested Martinez, real name Pavel Kozlov, along with 3 associates. 6 months after that, James Wilson in Suite 3247, same pattern. This raid recovered 4 victims and uncovered financial records linking the Palmer House trafficking network to operations in New York and Los Angeles. Sarah Chen still works at the Palmer House today, still pushes her housekeeping cart through endless marble hallways, still changes bed sheets and restocks bathroom amenities, still responds to guest requests with professional invisibility. But now every extended stay guest gets Sarah's special attention. Every cash transaction triggers her experienced instincts. Every young woman who looks scared or out of place receives careful observation from someone trained to recognize the signs of human trafficking. Her business card still reads housekeeping supervisor. Her uniform is still navy blue polyester. Her salary still reflects service industry standards, not law enforcement pay scales. But Sarah Chun knows what she really is. A guardian hiding in plain sight, a protector disguised as hotel staff, a warrior whose battlefield is luxury suites where evil hides behind expensive facades. On quiet nights, when the Palmer House settles into its expensive silence, Sarah walks the hallways one final time before heading home. She checks doors, monitors security cameras, reviews the next day's guest manifest. Not because it's her job, because it's her mission, because evil depends on good people looking the other way. But some good people are trained never to look away, never to assume someone else will handle problems, never to let the invisible become victims. If you're watching this in a hotel room right now, look around. Someone cleaned that space, someone paid attention to details, someone made sure you'd be safe. And if you work in hospitality or security or any job that makes you invisible, remember Sarah Chun. You see things others don't. You're positioned to help when others can't. You have power that comes from being underestimated. Use that power. The person you save might be someone the whole world forgot to protect.